Ladies and gentlemen, it's your buddy Joe, JSnip4, with Realist News on YouTube. You know what's funny? I named my channel Realist News. I know my thing says JSnip4, but as you've seen since day one of my videos, Realist News. Who'd have ever thought there'd be this fighting between the mainstream media and alternative media, in which we all find out that the mainstream media is fake news. Not that I found that out recently, but most people did find out recently that it's fake, finally. And my channel happens to be named Realist News the whole time, trying to keep it real and provide real news as opposed to fake garbage CNN and the other mainstream media outlets. That's interesting, isn't it? But I heard this the other day, and I was reading this article on the economiccollapseblog.com. And I heard a little blurb on TV too. Oprah Winfrey says she may, she never thought about running president for it because she didn't think she was qualified. But after seeing unqualified Donald Trump run and win, she may consider running. I'm looking at this picture with Obama putting some little award thing around her neck. And I thought, is there any picture of Obama putting anything or even handing anything nice to Donald Trump? Nope. You already know Oprah's not going to be one that you would ever want in office. You want to talk about somebody that is absolutely completely, or would be completely, surrounded by the club's advisors, telling her what to say, when to say it, what to think, and how to act. She wouldn't know the first thing to do. Oh, I'm just going to rely on the experts. Well, who are the experts? The advisors. Oh, more like I was talking to you the other day about the elite admitting that they run everything. The Trilateral Commission. Oh, you got a bunch of Trilateral Commission people back around you. Council on Foreign Relations people. Oh, those are the experts. Those are your advisors. Oh, okay, we get it. President Oprah, speculation rises that the 2020 election will feature an epic battle between Donald Trump and Oprah Winfrey. When Donald Trump originally announced that he was going to run for president, he said that his ideal choice for a running mate was Oprah Winfrey, but now he may be actually running against her in the 2020 election. A recent episode of The David Rubenstein Show that featured an interview with Oprah Winfrey is creating a tremendous amount of buzz that Oprah Winfrey may throw her hat into the ring during the next election cycle. This particular episode was taped back on December 12th, but it didn't air until on Bloomberg until last Tuesday. You can see the portion of the interview in which Oprah is asked about her presidential aspirations on YouTube right here. And as you can see, she definitely sounds like someone that is very seriously thinking about running. Again, you want to talk about the worst pick. You get a freaking celebrity talk show. I mean, could you imagine? Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry Springer today. Jerry, no matter when you vote for him, you had to stand in line. Jerry. Two people were going to fight each other. The two or three independent candidates are fighting. Jerry's got to get a security guard in there to break him up. Again, they will eat this woman alive. She'll do everything that the club tells her to do. She wouldn't have an opinion of her own. She wouldn't have a thought of her own. She wouldn't know what to think. You got the wrong person. So hopefully this becomes a non-issue. But, prior to this last election, Oprah says that she never even considered the possibility of running. But Donald Trump's victory in November made her realize that maybe she could do it too. She said, I actually never considered the question, even the possibility. I just thought, because it's clear you don't need government experience to be elected president of the United States. Mr. Rubenstein interjected, and she said, that's what I thought. She replied, I thought, I don't have the experience. I don't know enough. Now I'm thinking, right. You don't have the experience. You don't know enough. Correct, Oprah. You nailed it. Which is why you will be taken advantage of so quick. The elite will be doing backflips if she were to run and win against Donald Trump. So what Donald Trump has to do, as I've said before, we know these bubbles in the markets, they are bubbles inside of bubbles. There's no reason for these stocks to be so high. It's out of control. And then Snapchat comes online. Go IPO for Snapchat. I don't even know what the damn number was, $35 billion. It's a program, an app on your phone where you take a picture of something and write a little text message and send it to your people, and then it disappears, never to be seen again. Now that's worth $35 billion. Reminds me of, you remember the cartoon? In case you're wondering, that is Inspector Gadget. And his little secret agent guy that would give him the missions to go on secretively, he'd show up in his refrigerator, he'd show up in a trash can or something. He'd read, Inspector Gadget, Dr. Claw has such and such. We've got to get that back from him. Warning, this message will self-destruct. He throws it away in the trash can behind him where the secret agent is, and boom, blows him up. Anyways. This message will self-destruct. You don't know enough. Oh, gee, I don't have the experience. I don't know enough. That's right. They will have their way with you. Other thing I want to talk about, also from the Economic Collapse blog. It's actually a video, to-do video I sent myself about 5 days ago. Just felt like other more important things were pressing to talk about. But it still shows, again, speaking of bubbles and all that crap, 11 quotes from Trump's speech to Congress that shows that the U.S. economy is in a state of collapse. So as I was saying before, if Trump really wants to win against Oprah, should she come out, he must let this bubble burst sooner rather than later. And I say that as if he is the one that is doing it. He's not. It's the club. And I know September 23rd, 2017, the next big 23rd date of September, the movies keep referring to. We can't figure out, is it this year? Is it next year? Which year is it? We know it's September 23rd, but we don't know exactly when. I mentioned this several weeks ago, and a guy online put some interesting stuff together, some alignments and things that happen as far as astrologically concerned. Happens to be this September 2017, so maybe that has to do with it. But nonetheless, if you were Trump, you would want the crash to come early so that you can rebuild fast. And then when it's time to get reelected, hey, he turned that whole he was handed the biggest nightmare ever from Obama, and we understand Obama was handed a nightmare from Bush, and Bush was handed a nightmare from Clinton, etc. But it got 4, 5, 6 times fold worse each time they handed it off. So if he were to take that, run with it, rebuild America, make America great again, so to speak, he could easily win again. Anyways, we have 11 things here. 94 million Americans are out of the labor force. Over 43 million people are living in poverty. And of course, of same number, 43 million Americans are on food stamps. More than 1 in 5 people in their prime working years are not working. We have the worst financial recovery in 65 years. Again, these are all Donald Trump quotes, by the way. In the last 8 years, the past administration has put on more new debt than nearly all of the other presidents combined. We've lost more than 1/5 of our manufacturing jobs since NAFTA was approved. We've lost 60,000 factories since China joined the World Trade Organization in 2001. Our trade deficit in goods with the world last year was nearly $800 billion. Obamacare premiums nationwide have increased by double and triple digits. As an example, Arizona went up 116% last year alone. We've spent trillions and trillions of dollars overseas while our infrastructure at home is so badly crumbled. And if you want to talk about Obamacare for a second, The exchanges were collapsing left and right. Remember, there was 24 that started out, and now there was just a handful. They're closing left and right. If you want your doctor, you can keep your doctor. Oh, I can't keep my doctor. Got kicked out. And I remember seeing some liberal Democrat by chance from California. We supported Obama. We donated to him. We went out and pushed Obamacare. My wife and I, we rallied. We did things to wake our friends up to this stuff and tell them why they need to support Obamacare. And we are very upset right now. Why are you upset? Because I just lost my doctor. I can't keep my doctor onto this plan. It's the Obamacare plan? Yes, it is. Oh, I felt so good when I heard that. This was a few years ago, by the way. I felt fantastic when I heard that. There's nothing better than getting someone so for somebody. Oh my God, got it. And then having a, get right with Jesus moment in their life. Oh my God. I was wrong. Oh my goodness. And now I'm freaking furious because they pulled one over on me. I supported you. I donated to you. I helped you. And you pulled one over on me. Now I'm pissed off. Remember the Obama phone lady? Go get your Obama phone. She was out promoting it for free on the side of the street. She was on the news. Someone that worked with Alex Jones saw her in the airport. Are you the Obama phone lady? Oh yeah, that's me. Oh, I thought that was you. Yeah, well, I'm not anymore. Why not? What's wrong? Well, he promised us he was going to come in and fix up our project. He promised this and that. He didn't do any of that, and I'm at, Another one bites the dust. They were able to get her on in the studio, Alex Jones, and I heard that episode that day. It was fantastic. And then, do you remember the lady that when Obama won first time, 2008, people were crying in the audience. It was the biggest gathering ever. Oh my God, America's going to be fixed and the bailouts and all this stuff is going to go away. And remember the lady that said, we just got to support our president. If I can't afford my house or get behind my payment, he's going to help us pay the house. Remember that lady? Somebody found out where she lived, who she was, because most people thought, oh, she's just another, welfare state, lives in the ghetto probably, lower class, thinking and saying things like that, And yes, she was black, whatever. But it came to be found out she was like a registered nurse or something, middle class as middle class can be, lived in a middle class neighborhood. They went and talked with her. Again, I saw it for myself. She said we were lied to, and this is not what I voted for, what I thought we were going to get. It's the opposite. She went on and very, very well-spoken woman. You have two key people promoting somebody that, most everybody knows about. Oh, do you remember the Obama phone lady? Yeah. Do you remember the one lady when they won the election? If I can't pay my house payment, mortgage, he'll help. Remember that lady? Oh, yeah. Everybody knows those two. And you mean to tell me they've both flopped? Nope. We don't like them anymore. And I'll tell you something interesting. When that election happened, Obama, they had an Obama YouTube account created and had crap load of subscribers, of course. People, oh, it's the president, he's going to be the president. Became the president. And I remember going to the page right after the election and on the particular video that they would put out, the last video that the Obama administration put out. And there were never any more after that one. And I was just going down the line, reading the comments. He won, we're happy, or he's the best, whatever, just stuff like that. Just typical stuff you would expect to see. And I'd click on someone's name. Account created this day. Oh, it was just created. No activity other than that. I thought, well, would I be so excited that I would create a YouTube account to just say something one time, hey, go Obama, I love him, thumbs up, and then never be seen on the face of the earth again, on YouTube, that is? Because I went back for a while after that, checking again. It was fascinating to me. I wanted to see if I could catch something, like this is odd. And I'd go back and check these people. And there was no more comments allowed anymore. So the commenting had stopped. So it was the same last comments, and that was it. So it's not like I had to go drill through it and figure out, well, who said, where's that one again at? It's not on page, I got to keep hitting load more comments. Where's that one? No. It was frozen, basically. They stopped allowing comments on that video, and I got to read the same ones over and over again. So I'd pick the top ones, the ones that had the most thumbs up and everything, because that's what was at the top. And and I think back then I was able to click like last activity or find, you can click on like their about page or whatever on YouTube, and you can find things like their last thing they commented on, the last video they watched. Like certain statistics was default. You could go look up somebody else and see what they were doing. It's changed a bit nowadays, but you could do that. I know this because I've done it, and I was doing it with them. And I'm like, strange. They literally created an account, made one comment, it got massive thumbs up, and then they were gone forever. And I would go to another one, and I'd find the same thing. And another one, I'd find the same thing. It was fake. What is that? It's fake. Like, you hear about these Twitter bots. They go out and they retweet stuff and tweet stuff, and it's like this bot farm of 200,000-300,000 fake accounts. Again, created by bots, and simply a bot is a script that runs on a computer, or more than likely many computers, like thousands and thousands of computers. And it listens for the main bot to say this is what I'm tweeting, and the rest of them retweet, and it's all programmed. It's just writing a script. And I remember reading about one the other day. I should say about 3 weeks ago, it got busted. Oh, bunch of fake Twitter accounts, nailed. And I got to say something about that too, because, on my YouTube videos, I have these advertisements. I don't know what they are. I just say insert one there, insert one there, insert one there, and I get paid a little bit of money for them. Well, on Twitter, if you're an advertiser and you advertise on Twitter and the ad pops up, it's a number of impressions. So however many impressions, if it's 1,000 or whatever, you're going to get charged such and such fee per thousands of impressions of that ad showing up on someone's screen. And you think about this, if there was 200,000-300,000 fake Twitter bots, if you will, are those things acting as page views when they log in to do their dirty work, so to speak? Which would mean, are advertisers getting the crap kicked out of them by fake views and whatnot? The answer actually is, to some extent, for sure, yes. I already know that. What I don't know is what the extent is. But thought that was interesting. So he got 2 terms, Obama. We got stuck with him, I should say, for 2 terms. But at the same time, now especially with John McCain and all this crap, I know I can't talk to anybody these days that likes John McCain, no matter what side of the aisle you stand on. And that's interesting because he was running, remember, with Sarah Palin, and we all like Sarah Palin. I was McCain and Palin, right? Not Mitt Romney. Yeah. Anyways, could you imagine if he got in? We got Obama, but could you imagine if that warmonger somehow got in there? I remember reading the John Teeter, time travel story thing, and he talked about, because people were saying, well, why can't you just go back and, all these bad, like the Hitler type people, why can't you, go back in time and fix that stuff? Don't let them get, don't even let them be born, for God's sake. Do something. And he mentioned something like, before you go tooting your own horn about how you'd go back and fix these things, what was the word he used? Sometimes the alternative of when you think you're doing good, something that replaces it is far worse, something like that. And it made me think, like, oh yeah, you never thought about that. He in this case, let's say Hitler is replaced, or never allowed to gain power like he did because someone intervened, but then someone else worse than Hitler is able to grab that spot. Like that was kind of the point he was making. But anyways, Trump knows where we are financially, bubbles, all that stuff. And if he knows that, does that mean he can all of a sudden issue some kind of, decree, all right, let's let the markets crash? I mean, no. It's the club holding up the markets. But again, we have the Exchange Stabilization Fund, the President's Working Group on Financial Matters, the Plunge Protection Team, as they've been known. He could easily tell them, look, let it go, no more intervening, and then see what happens to stocks, bonds, and everything else. However, Right now, it's in his best interest to let him keep doing it. Oh, markets rally on no news? Great. Because now he gets to toot his horn and say, look, the stock market has never gone up so quick like it has, since I've been elected. And he's talking all about it. He's real proud of that. So they may let him eat that up now, and then come September or so, like later this year, it's go time, boys. Now Trump's going to be eating his word. We're going to make him look like a fool because the markets are going to be destroyed. But I will say I don't know. Many have apparently tried to make Trump look like a fool here the last 2 months and ended up looking like more of a fool than themselves. Nancy Pelosi. I never met with any Russian. Oh, except for this one. Here's a picture of you, you idiot. Well, what I really meant to say was that I didn't do a private solo meeting with the person. We were in a group. A group of friends? Like, don't go out to Ybor City, Tampa, solo. You might get killed, raped, mugged at night. You don't go solo to Ybor City. You go with a group of friends. Yeah, you didn't go solo. Okay. Got you, Pelosi. I wouldn't want to punch her in the face, but I would love to slap her in the face with a little plastic glove on, just to give it a little extra effect. Pow! Now resign, woman. Anyways, take care. Got to go to the next video.